Hello everyone, my name is Lohit and today we are going to study the topic inverse trigonometric functions. So this is very basic and very useful topic in mathematics, and it is very useful for next two topics. One is differentiation and another one is integration, and it is also used in the subject physics and engineering also, and it is very useful topic. And if you take for Karnataka board examination, this topic will come for 1 mark 1 question, 2 marks 2 questions, 3 marks 1 question, so totally 8 marks topic. And if you take for CET, you may get 2 or 3 questions, and in JEE mains it will be a applicable useful topic. Now let us begin with the inverse trigonometric function. First, the students must have the idea about functions. So already we studied in the first pure topic functions. I'll just recall what is the definition of function, and we will move how the inverse exists. Later on we will discuss about inverse trigonometric functions. Inverse means just we have to reversing the function. So that I will tell the definition of function now. Let A and B two non-empty sets. A relation f from A to B is said to be a function if every element of A has one and only one image in B. If you take the arrow diagram, it will give the clear picture about the function. For example, if I take the set A contains 1, 2, 3, and set B contains the elements A, B, C, D. Suppose 1 mapping for A, 2 mapping for B, and 3 mapping for D. Now clearly it is a function because all the elements of A has unique images in B. So in first PUC we already studied the set A is called domain, set B is called codomain, and the images, the elements set A, B, D is called range of the function f. I will take one more example. Set A contains 1, 2, 3, 4. Set B contains A, B, C. Suppose the mapping is 1 going for A, 2 going for B, 3 going for C. Now it is not a function because element 4 does not have the image in set B. So like that we already discussed in the first year topic, that is the concept of function. Let us discuss the types of functions. First one, 1 function. It is also called injective. 1 function, it is also called injective. That means a function f from A to B is said to be 1 or injective if distinct elements of A has distinct images in B. If you take a arrow diagram, then it will give the clear picture about the 1 function. If 1 mapping for A, 2 mapping for C, 3 mapping for D. So clearly it is a 1 function. So second one, is onto function. It is also called surjective. So in a simple word, we will say a function f from a to b is said to be onto if codomain equals to range. For example, if I take a is 1, 2, 3, b is a, b, c. 1 mapping for a, 2 mapping for b, 3 mapping for c. So clearly codomain element is a, b, c, and also range a, b, c. So it can be defined in another words also. All the elements of codomain have the pre-images in P. So that simply we say codomain is exactly equal to range. Now third one, it is bijective. So what is the meaning of bijective function? A function f from a to b is said to be bijective if it is 1, 1 and onto. So students can easily remember by the definition as a function which is injective and surjective, which is called bijective. So the best example for bijective is identity function f of x equal to x, where f is mapping from real number to real number. The best example here, it satisfies both 1, 1 and onto. So that is the meaning of bijective. So we discussed about injective, surjective, bijective. Now a very important type of function, it is inverse function. It is also called invertible function. So what is inverse of a function? If f from a to b is both 1, 1 and onto, then there exists one more function g from b to a such that f of x equal to y and g of y equal to x. Then this g is called inverse of f, and it is denoted by f inverse. So students, they have to read it as inverse of f. Don't say f to the power -1. You have to say it as inverse of a f. And if I take one example, a to b is a mapping 1, 2, 3, a, b, c, 1 going for a, 2 going for c, and 3 going for b. So here we can say f of 1 equals to a, and f of 2 equals to b, f of 3 equal to c. So first, a function should be a invertible. It must satisfies both 1, 1 and onto. That means it should be bijective. So here clearly 1, 1 and onto. So hence it is bijective. Here inverse of function exists, so that we can say g is a function from b to a. If I take a, b, c, 1, 2, 3. So a going for 1, b going for 2, c going for 3. So that we can say f inverse of a equal to 1, f inverse of b equals to 2, f inverse of 3, f inverse of c equals to 3. So that is the concept of invertible. Actually, these are all concepts we are detailedly discussing in the topic of relation and function. So the students will get more examples, more illustrations in the topic of relation and function. Now, just for introducing the topic inverse trigonometric function, I required inverse function. That's why I recalled all these concepts. So students must remember, when I enter to this inverse trigonometric function, you must know the meaning of inverse of a function. So you must remember, a function must have the inverse. It should satisfies both 1, 1 and on 2. So now we will enter to the topic inverse trigonometric function. Here again we have to recall the trigonometric functions, its domain and range. That one we already studied in the first year topic. So if I take trigonometric function, domain and range. So this is very essential to define inverse of a trigonometric function. First we must recall the trigonometric functions domain and range. So first one we studied sine function. So all of you know that its domain is real number and the range is closed interval -1 to +1. Second one, cosine function. Its domain range is again same, set of all real number and range is closed interval -1 to +1. And third one, tangent function. So in that, the domain, you cannot take all the real number. In that, odd multiple of pi/2 we have to remove. So that is the domain of the tan function, r minus 2n plus 1 into pi/2, where n belongs to set of all integer. And here range is complete real number. Next one is cosecant function. Its domain is set of all real number except n pi, where n belongs to z. And the range is set of all real number except open interval -1, 1. This can also be denoted by mod x greater than or equal to 1. Next one, secant function. Its domain is r minus 2n plus 1 into pi/2, where n belongs to set of all integer. And here again range is same, r minus -1, +1. And last one, cotangent function. Its domain is r minus n pi, where n belongs to set of all integer and range is set of all real number. Because to study inverse trigonometric function, we must know the domain and range of the trigonometric function. So let's begin with the one by one definitions of inverse trigonometric function. In that, first one, it is inverse sine function. It is also called arc sine function. Arc sine function. So how to check inverse of a sine function? I already explained that a function should be invertible. It must be satisfying both 1, 1 and onto. So let us check whether sine function will satisfy 1, 1 and onto or not. So now I explained that the domain and range of sine function. So sine function is defined from set of all real number to closed interval -1, +1. Suppose if you take the arrow diagram to check 1, 1. Now I am going to check whether sine function is 1, 1 or not. So here set of all real numbers you have to take, and here it is defined for -1 to +1. Now, so trigonometric function basically defines for angles. If I take 0, so here I will take -1 to 1. Sine 0, all of you know that value is 0. And if I take sine pi by 6, 30 degree, that value is 1 by 2. And if I continue like this, sine pi by 4, 1 by root 2. And if I continue like that, sine pi by 2, 1. And in the same way, if I take negative angles, you will get negative answers. But when I take 180 degree, that means pi, the value of sine pi become 0. So that means it fails 1-1 function, because I already said that what is the meaning of 1-1? Distinct elements of domain has distinct images in codomain. Here 0, pi, if you take 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, in general n pi all will give the answer as 0. So that means it fails 1-1 function. So to make it is invertible, first we have to make it as 1-1. So that is possible only when this domain we have to restrict for minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Suppose now if I restrict, instead of a real number minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, now you check the values of sine function. If I take minus pi by 2, so sine of minus pi by 2 will give minus 1. Minus pi by 4 if I take, then it will be minus 1 by root 2. If I take 0, then value is 0. And plus pi by 4 if I take, 1 by root 2. And pi by 2 if I take, it is 1. So now clearly all the elements of domain have only one image and it is distinct. So clearly it will satisfy 1-1 by restricting the domain as minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. And here codomain is minus 1 to 1, and range also I got minus 1 to 1. So it is clearly onto. So hence it is both 1-1 and onto, therefore it is bijective function. So now clearly we can get the invertible of sine function. So how invertible sine function can be defined as, so sine inverse x. So inverse sine x can be defined as y equal to sine inverse of x if and only if x equal to sine y, and where so x value lies between minus 1 to 1 and y value must be lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So this is the actual definition of first one, inverse sine function. So first we check whether it is bijective or not. For that we restricted domain as minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Then the sign is defined like this, and then invertible, so it should change domain and range so that y equal to sine inverse x if and only if x should be sine y, and x it is defined for minus 1 to 1 and y should be minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. That means in inverse sine function, domain, remember now domain is closed interval minus 1 to plus 1 and range is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Actually here other than this we can take the branches. For example, minus 3 pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, minus pi by 2, minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, pi by 2 to plus 3 pi by 2, and so on. So many branches are there to check onto function. For that, among that, minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 is called principal value branch. Principal value branch. Why it is called principal value branch? Because for calculation purpose, it is easy to find the values lying between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. That means if you take, this is minus pi by 2 and plus pi by 2, so first quadrant and fourth quadrant angles we can use here. If you take minus 3 pi by 2 to minus pi by 2, then also you will get 1 1 and on 2. But it is more convenient so that all of you can find the values in between minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2 very easily and very quickly. That's why it is universally accepted as one of the best branch, and so it is called principal value branch. Now we will discuss the graph of inverse sine function. For that, first we will recall the graph of sine function, which is already studied in the first year topic. So this is the graph of sine function. So all of you know that the minimum value minus 1 up to maximum is plus 1. So sine 0 0 and sine 90 maximum is 1, and like that the graph looks like y equal to sine x. Now what about the inverse of sine function graph? If you see that, now here already I said that minus domain will be in the x axis, range will be in the y axis. So here domain is minus 1 to 1, and now for that here we discuss sine 0 0, sine 90 1. So in the same way, if I take sine pi by 2 is 1, so sine inverse of 1 become pi by 2. So in that ways we have to plot the graph. So it will start from here, sine inverse of 0 0, and if you take here sine inverse of 0.5, that means 1 by 2, that will give, it is pi by 6, and maximum it will be sine inverse of 1 is pi by 2. So like that we have to plot the graph. So that is the graph of inverse sine function. So now we will take a few examples about inverse sine function. Sine inverse of 1 by 2 is pi by 6, because sine pi by 6 value is 1 by 2. In such a way that we have to find the values of inverse of sine function. And here we will take one note, sine of sine inverse of x equal to x. This is holds only for x value lies between minus 1 to plus 1. So that is with the help of definition of function and properties of function we can give the relation like this. And for example, sine of sine inverse of 1 by 2, so no need to evaluate, directly you can write the answer as 1 by 2, because this 1 by 2 comes under the interval minus 1 to plus 1. So I will take one more example, sine of sine inverse of root 2. So here students will make the mistake, directly they will write root 2, but here root 2 is not possible, because root 2 is approximately equal to 1.4, that will be out of the range. So hence its answer is does not exist. And here I will take one more note, that is sine inverse of sine y is equal to y. So see the difference here, trigonometry function inside is inverse, so it should be x, and x should be lies between minus 1 to plus 1, and here outside is inverse function and inside sine trigonometry function. So here angle will exit, and this y value must be lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Yes, now we finished the first definition of inverse trigonometry function, that is inverse sine. Now we will move to the second definition, inverse cosine function. It is also called arc cosine function. Here also we have to repeat the procedure what we discussed in inverse sine function. Here also we have to check whether cosine function is 1 1 or onto. Means cos function is defined for set of all real number minus 1 to 1. If you take all the real numbers, if you take and closed interval minus 1 to plus 1, if you check 1 1, we will collect the angles. First I will start with 0. The value of cos 0 is 1. Cos pi by 4 will be 1 by root 2. Cos 90 will be 0. And if I continue to check like this, so if I go for cos 3 pi by 2, so that is also 0. So clearly here it is 1 1 function failed, because the element of codomain must have unique image in B. But here pi by 2 also mapping for 0, 3 pi by 2 also mapping for 0, so therefore it fails 1 1 function. So to make this as 1 1 function, we have to restrict the real number as minus 0 to pi. We have to restrict the domain as 0 to pi. If you check now the angle from 0 to pi, cos 0 is 1, cos pi by 4 1 by root 2, cos 90 will be 0, cos 2 pi by 3, that means obtuse angle, it comes under second quadrant, all the values of cos function become negative and it is minus 1 by 2. And if you take cos 3 pi by 4, it will become minus 1 by root 2 and cos pi becomes minus 1. So clearly distinct elements of domain have distinct images in codomain. So therefore it is 1 1. And here range is closed interval minus 1 to plus 1 and codomain also minus 1 to plus 1. Here codomain equals to range, hence it is onto also. So clearly now it becomes bijective, hence the cos function is invertible. So now we can define the definition of inverse cos function as y equals to cos inverse of x if and only if x equal to cos y, where x lies between minus 1 to 1 and y lies between 0 to pi. And minus 1 to 1 is the domain of the inverse cos and 0 to pi is the range. It is also called principal value branch. Yes, now we will take a few examples for a cos inverse function. Examples: cos inverse of 1 by root 2 is pi by 4, because cos pi by 4 value is 1 by root 2. So here we will take the note cos of cos inverse of x equal to x. This x value lies between minus 1 to plus 1. And you can use this property for the problems having cos inverse of cos inverse of 1 by 2 is directly 1 by 2, because 1 by 2 comes under minus 1 to plus 1. So suppose if they ask cos of cos inverse of root 3, now root 3 value is more than 1. It is approximately 1.7. So the answer is does not exist. And we will take second note, cos inverse of cos y will be y, and this y is lies between 0 to pi. This property is basically depends on the definition of the function. Yes, now we discussed two definition of inverse trigonometry function. First one is inverse sine function, second one is inverse cosine function. Now in the same way we will discuss remaining. Directly I will give the definition so that we can check. So students, you can check the concept of bijective, so that I will directly give the third definition, that is called inverse tangent function can be defined as y equal to tan inverse of x, this if and only if x must be tan y, and this x value, remember now in trigonometry tan function the domain was the r minus 2n plus 1 pi by 2 and range is real number. Now that range become here domain, so minus infinity to plus infinity, or else we can say set of all real number, and here we have to take open interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, as if you know that tan pi by 2 cannot be defined, so that we have to take the open interval. For example, tan inverse of 1, we will take it as pi by 4, because all of you know that the value of tan pi by 4 is 1. And we will move for a fourth definition. Before that, the same property we will continue. Note the first one, tan inverse of x equal to x, where x belongs to real number. Second one, tan inverse of tan y equals to y, where y lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So fourth definition is inverse cosecant function. Inverse cosecant function can be defined as y equal to cosecant inverse of x if and only if x equals to cosecant y. And remember now, so what will be the domain of this cosecant inverse x? You have to recall the range of cosecant x. So range of cosecant x, in previous I discussed that mod x should be greater than or equal to 1, or we can write x belongs to set of all real number except minus 1 to plus 1. That is the domain, and range y is, it is exactly similar to sine, because in trigonometry we say that cosecant is the reciprocal of the sine function, so that you refer the range of sine function. In that it is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Here one value or one angle does not satisfy, that is y should not be equal to 0, because all of you know that the value of sine 0 is 0, but cosecant 0 become 1 by 0, which is not defined. Therefore the students must remember that the range is closed interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 except 0. And if I take the example for cosecant inverse x, cosecant inverse of root 2, it is the reciprocal of sine, so that it will be sine, reference to the sine inverse of 1 by root 2, which is pi by 4. And here also we will take the note, cosecant of cosecant inverse x equal to x, where mod x should be greater than or equal to 1. And next one, cosecant inverse of cosecant y is y, where y belongs to closed interval minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2 except 0. So next definition is fifth one, inverse secant function. So it can be defined as y equal to secant inverse x if and only if x equal to secant y, and the domain x is again same thing, mod x greater than or equal to 1, or else you can write x belongs to set of all real number except open interval minus 1 to plus 1, and range again same method, secant is the reciprocal of cos, so better refer the range of cos inverse, which is defined for 0 to pi closed interval. Here also same 0 to pi, but one angle here we cannot define, that is y is not equal to pi by 2, because cos pi by 2 0, secant pi by 2 cannot be defined, so that in the range you can write closed interval 0 to pi except pi by 2. For example, secant inverse of 2, so we can write this one as pi by 3. Cos 60 degrees 1 by 2, its reciprocal secant 2, so therefore the answer is pi by 3. Here also we will take the 2 note. So secant of secant inverse we can write directly x, where mod x greater than or equal to 1, and second one secant inverse of secant y equals to y, where this y belongs to closed interval 0 to pi except pi by 2. And the last definition is sixth one, inverse cotangent function, which is defined in the same way, y equal to cot inverse of x if and only if x equals to cot y, where the domain x is belongs to set of all real number and the range is 0 to pi, and remember it is strict inequality, or else you can say open interval 0 to pi, because cot 0, cot pi cannot be defined, that's why we have to take here open interval 0 to pi. For example, cot inverse of 1 is pi by 4, and here also we will take same note. First one, cot of cot inverse of x equal to x, where x belongs to real number. Second one, cot inverse of cot y equals to y, where y belongs to open interval 0 to pi. And here I didn't discuss about the graphs, so that you can refer the textbook. In that the graphs are very clearly they are mentioned. So now we will collect all the definition once again, because what I explained all this now in a simple way we can remember in the table wise, so that the students can easily refer this table. And in PU board examination they may ask one more question, what will be the domain, what will be the range of all the various types of inverse trigonometric function. So once again we will collect all the definition. So first, inverse trigonometric function, domain, range. So first one, it is sine inverse function, domain is closed interval -1 to +1, and the range is closed interval -pi by 2 to +pi by 2. Second one, cos inverse function, its domain is closed interval -1 to +1, and range, remember, it is 0 to pi. And third one, tan inverse function, its domain is set of all real number and the range is open interval -pi by 2 to +pi by 2. Fourth one, we will take it as cosecant inverse, which will be referring to the first one, sine inverse, and its domain is r minus -1 to 1 open interval, or else you can symbolically write mod x greater than or equal to 1, and range, which is similar to this, -pi by 2 to +pi by 2 except the angle 0. Fifth one, secant inverse, the same domain r -1 to 1, or else you can take mod x greater than or equal to 1, which is referred to cos inverse, closed interval 0 to pi except angle pi by 2, and last one, cot inverse, which domain is set of all real number and the range is open interval 0 to pi. So if the students can refer this table, and it is very useful, instead of all these theory part, better you refer only this much, the table, which will be useful for both competitive exam as well as your theory board examination.